The Zdari overlord stood before the Galactic Concord's trembling leaders, his massive, clawed arms crossed over his chitinous chest. "Your peace has made you weak," he sneered. "Your species have grown fat and complacent. You've forgotten the meaning of war. And now we shall remind you." Silence gripped the chamber. Alien diplomats gaped in horror. Some wept, others whispered prayers. Then, a single sound shattered the tension. Laughter. Loud. Cold. Mocking. The Zdari's burning red eyes snapped toward the lone human in the room, War Master Adric Ironfang Karn. The human warrior leaned back in his seat, arms folded, his scarred face twisted in an amused grin. He chuckled again, the sound sharp and cutting. "You really think we forgot war?" He shook his head, eyes gleaming like a wolf sizing up prey. "Oh, you poor bastards! You have no idea what you've just unleashed." The chamber trembles. Flickering holofeeds display dozens of Concord worlds burning, their defenses crumbling before the Zdari onslaught. Alien leaders huddle around the grand war table, their voices a cacophony of panic and desperation. Senator Erlax, Sulik Prime, reptilian species, voice shaking. This cannot be happening. They shattered our border fleets in a single cycle. We have no countermeasures. Admiral XCRLOK, insected, mandibles clicking. We must negotiate. Offer them tribute, surrender strategic holdings, buy time. Counselor Rinvar, avian, feathers trembling. Their demands are absolute. Unconditional surrender. And if we refuse... The holofeed shifts. A Concord colony erupts in flames, starry shock troopers executing planetary officials in cold blood. Silence falls. Dread tightens in the room. Then, a deep, amused chuckle. It's a sound that does not belong here. Heads turn to the lone human in the chamber. Adric, Ironfang Karn, seated at the far end, arms crossed, booted feet propped against the council table. A half-smirk plays on his scarred face as he exhales another low, mocking laugh. Ironfang Karn. I was wondering how long it'd take. Counselor Rinvar, indignant, feathers bristling. You find this amusing, human? We are on the brink of total collapse. Karn uncrosses his arms, leans forward. His steel-gray eyes flicker like the calm before a thunderstorm. Ironfang Karn. No, you are on the brink of collapse. We've been waiting for this. Admiral XCRLOK. What are you saying? Karn stands rolling his shoulders, the motion predatory, deliberate. He steps forward, past the terrified politicians, past the scrambling military tacticians, past the weak. Ironfang Karn. You really thought peace would last forever? You thought that if you just sat around playing nice long enough, war would vanish? He gestures to the burning worlds on the holofeed. Ironfang Karn. No. War was just waiting. And you were dumb enough to pretend it didn't exist. A beat of silence. Then, an outburst. Senator Erlax. You speak as if you have a solution. Humanity's fleets are non-existent, decommissioned after the last war. Your people have. Karn laughs again. This time, louder. He turns to the senator, expression sharpening to a blade's edge. Ironfang Karn. You think we disarmed? Oh, you naive little lizard. The rest of you got soft. We just got quiet. A shiver runs through the room. Admiral XCRLOK, hesitant. Humanity still has a military? Karn tilts his head, as if the question itself is insulting. Ironfang Karn. We never stopped training. Never stopped building. Never stopped preparing. He lifts his wristcom, taps a sequence. The holofeeds shift. The Concord's desperate military channels flicker to static, overridden. New transmissions flood the display. A new fleet emerges. Massive, unseen warships, rising from hidden black sites deep in uncharted space. Cloaked battalions activating. Orbital strike platforms hidden in asteroid belts powering up. The Black Fleet awakens. Ironfang Karn. For 3,000 years we let you believe we were civilized. Horrified gasps ripple through the chamber. Counselor Rinvar, whispering. By the stars! Karn steps back from the display, letting the weight of revelation sink in. Iron Fang Karn. This isn't a war. It's an execution. And now, it's our turn to play. Senator Erlax, frantic. You mean to launch a counteroffensive? But humanity cannot stand alone against the Zari. We must. Karn snorts. Iron Fang Karn. Alone? You think we're alone? He taps his comm again. More feeds flicker into view, human operatives already behind enemy lines. Saboteurs disabling Zari communications. AI-driven war drones infecting their data systems. Coordinated preemptive strikes that have already begun. Iron Fang Karn. This war was over before it started. He turns to the council, arms spread wide, voice like thunder rolling over a battlefield. Iron Fang Karn. You wanted peace. You got complacency. But we never stopped sharpening the blade. You forgot what war was. We never did. He grins, wolfish and wicked. Iron Fang Karn. Now step aside and watch how war is really fought. A final holofeed update flashes across the screen. Starry warships, detonating in coordinated ambushes. Ground forces, butchered by human strike teams. Entire supply chains disrupted before the Zari even realized they'd been compromised. The Concord did not call for war. But war had already arrived. And as Iron Fang Karn strides toward the launch bay, stepping into his warship's command center, his voice echoes through the comms. Iron Fang Karn. Engage. The Black Fleet surges forward. Humanity laughs. And the galaxy trembles. The bridge hums with power, the air thick with tension. Tactical displays flicker, tracking every Zari fleet, every world occupied, every weakness exposed. The moment Karn steps onto the command deck, all eyes turn to him. Commander Reyes. Fleet is in position. Strike teams already behind enemy lines. We're awaiting your order, War Master. Karn studies the data. He sees patterns, movements too arrogant, too predictable. The Zari think they're untouchable. Iron Fang Karn. They have no idea what's coming. He leans forward, scanning the hollow feed of the Zari High Command vessel, a fortress ship at the center of their fleet. He points at it. Iron Fang Karn. That ship? The overlords aboard? Tactical Officer Lin. Confirmed. Their entire war council. He's leading from the front, broadcasting his dominance to his forces. Iron Fang KRN, grinning. Good. That means we don't have to chase him. He turns to his officers, voice a low growl of command. Iron Fang Karn. We're going to cut the head off this snake. Fast. Brutal. Unrelenting. The bridge crew snaps to attention. They feel it too, the moment before the storm. Commander Reyes. You want an assassination op, sir? Karn shakes his head. Iron Fang Karn. No. I want a message. A tense silence. Tactical Officer Lin. How do you want to play it? Iron Fang Karn. We're going to board their command ship. No silent infiltration. No quiet kills. We are going to walk onto that bridge, look the Overlord in the eye, and show him what happens when you wake the beast. The bridge crew stiffens, absorbing the insanity of what he's proposing. Commander Reyes. With respect, sir, that's suicide. Karn smirks, tapping the hilt of his combat blade against the steel plating on his leg. Iron Fang Karn. Not for us. His orders snap through the fleet like a shockwave. Prepare for direct assault. Target enemy command vessel. Deploy strike teams for high-impact boarding. Engines roar. Warships maneuver into position. The Black Fleet moves. The hunt begins. The Zari flagship towers in the void, a beast of steel and fire, its fleet arrayed around it like a shield. They do not expect what comes next. The Black Fleet strikes like lightning. Human warships tear into formation, overwhelming defenses, cutting through shields like paper. Coordinated AI precision fire cripples the Zari response before it even begins. Inside the enemy flagship, alarms shriek, klaxons wail, officers panic. Starry General. We're under attack. Impossible. Our fleet is. The hull splits open. Humans breach the bridge. Karn leads the charge, stepping through the torn wreckage of the entrance like death incarnate. His warplate is scarred but unbroken, his blade dripping with the blood of those who tried to stop him. Iron Fang Karn. Knock, knock. The Starry High Command freezes. The Overlord, massive, towering, unafraid, steps forward, his mandibles clicking in disdain. Starry Overlord. You are bold, human. Karn grins, blood splattered across his armor. Iron Fang Karn. I get that a lot. Starry Overlord. You believe you have one because you caught me by surprise? The Overlord draws his war staff, activating its crackling energy edge. His warlords fan out behind him, weapons raised. Karn shakes his head. Iron Fang Karn. You don't get it, do you? He steps forward, slow, deliberate. His men don't even raise their weapons. The Starry hesitate. Iron Fang Karn. This isn't a battle. He gestures to the burning fleet outside. The carnage unfolding in real time. Iron Fang Karn. It's an execution. The Overlord lunges. He moves fast, his staff cutting through the air like a lightning strike. But Karn is faster. He sidesteps, grabs the Overlord's wrist, and drives his blade through the warlord's gut. The room goes silent. The Starry warlords stare in horror as their leader, their god of war, chokes on his own blood. Karn twists the blade deeper. The Overlord gasps, mandibles twitching. Starry Overlord, struggling. How? Karn leans in, voice a whisper of ice. Iron Fang Karn. You should have killed us when you had the chance. He rips the blade free, letting the Overlord's lifeless body collapse. The remaining warlords break. They fall to their knees, weapons clattering to the ground. Karn steps over the corpse, turns to the bridge's comm system, and activates the global Starry Fleet transmission. He speaks. Iron Fang Karn. This is your new reality. Your war is over. You just don't know it yet. The Black Fleet's cannons ignite. The last of the Starry defenses collapse. Across the galaxy, their empire burns. And as humanity's forces sweep through the last remnants of resistance, Karn watches without a flicker of hesitation. Iron Fang Karn. Execute them all. The feed cuts to black. The war is over. Humanity laughs. And the galaxy trembles. The fires rage. The Starry homeworld, once a jewel of conquest, is now a planetary graveyard. Entire legions lay in ruins, their war engines shattered, their defenses crumbled before they could even react. The sky is dark with the wreckage of what was once an unstoppable armada. Inside the Grand War Citadel, the last of the Starry High Command stands in silence. They have barricaded themselves behind the strongest defenses their world has ever known, but they know it won't be enough. They are not waiting for victory. They are waiting for the inevitable. The command doors explode inward. Adric, Iron Fang Karn walks through the smoke. He doesn't need to rush. There is no resistance left. His armor, scarred and bloodied, catches the dim light of the burning throne room. Behind him, his elite war fighters step forward, weapons lowered, not because they aren't ready, but because there is no need to fight anymore. The war is already over. The last warlord of the Starry, a towering brute with battle-scarred carapace and molten red eyes, clenches his fists. He does not bow. He does not kneel. But he does not attack either. Starry warlord. You have come to gloat. Karn's boots echo as he approaches the shattered remnants of the Starry leadership. He stops a few paces from them, studying their defiance, or what's left of it. Iron Fang Karn. I don't gloat. He lets the silence stretch. It weighs on them more than any weapon ever could. Iron Fang Karn. I end things. The Starry warlord sneers, despite the hopelessness. Starry warlord. You believe this is the end? That humanity is supreme? His mandibles click in something almost like laughter. Starry warlord. No empire lasts forever. Not even yours. Karn tilts his head, almost amused. Iron Fang Karn. That's where you're wrong. He gestures to the ruined palace around them. Their last stronghold, reduced to rubble. Iron Fang Karn. You ruled because you were feared. We rule because we are inevitable. The warlord growls, his muscles twitching, but he does not move. Karn steps closer, his voice lower now. Almost calm. Iron Fang Karn. You thought peace made us weak. He leans in, gaze locked onto the Zdaria's burning eyes. Iron Fang Karn. We let you think that. The warlord's mandibles clench, his throat clicking in frustration. Starry warlord. You're kind, you were always violent. Karn smiles, a cold, sharp thing. Iron Fang Karn. No. We were patient. The warlord lunges at the speed of a dying animal, one last desperate strike. Karn moves faster. His blade is already through the warlord's throat before the Starry even registers the pain. The warlord gurgles, clutching at the wound, collapsing to his knees. Karn doesn't watch him fall. He turns away before the body hits the ground. He already knows the result. The remaining Starry do not fight. Some stare at their fallen leader in disbelief. Others simply drop their weapons. Karn sighs. Iron Fang Karn. I had hoped you'd be more entertaining. He turns to his officers. Iron Fang Karn. Burn it. A brief silence. Then, Commander Reyes. Confirmed. Targeting systems locked. The warship above begins to charge its orbital weapons. Starry Advisor panicked. Wait. You can't just. Karn turns to him, expression flat. Iron Fang Karn. Did you hesitate when you burned our worlds? The Zdaria's mandibles twitch. He has no answer. Karn turns back to his men. Iron Fang Karn. Make an example of them. The order is final. The sky erupts with fire. The starry homeworld dies screaming. Karn watches from orbit, arms folded as the last remnants of an empire crumble into nothing. Commander Reyes. Orders, sir? Karn breathes in, slow and measured. Iron Fang Karn. Send a message. The communication lines open, transmitting across the entire Concord. Every surviving government, every remaining species sees the truth with their own eyes. Karn steps forward, gaze sharp as a blade, voice unshaken. Iron Fang Karn. This is your only warning. A beat. The silence pulses across the stars. Iron Fang Karn. War is over. He lets the weight of those words settle. Then, Iron Fang Karn. Because we say it is. The feed cuts to black. The galaxy holds its breath. And humanity laughs. The council chamber is silent. The air is thick with the scent of fear. Across the galaxy, every remaining power watches, their screens still flickering with the last transmission, the execution of the starry homeworld. They have seen what humanity is capable of. And now, they must decide if they will kneel or burn. The chamber doors hiss open. The gathered leaders, their faces drawn with anxiety, flinch as a Drick. Iron Fang Karn strides in. He moves without hesitation, without the false politeness of politicians. The warlord does not bow. He does not offer assurances. He simply sits at their table. And waits. A nervous cough. Then a voice, quivering, uncertain. Senator Erlax. Human. You. Karn lifts a hand. A simple gesture. The senator falls silent. He lets the silence stretch, his gaze sweeping across the room, watching them squirm. Iron Fang Karn. So. His voice is calm, but it carries weight. Iron Fang Karn. What's it going to be? The alien leaders glance at one another. No one speaks first. No one wants to be the one to decide the fate of their people. Finally, the Concord's supreme speaker clears her throat. A woman of age and dignity, her once strong voice cracks slightly under the weight of what she must ask. Supreme Speaker. You have made your point. Karn tilts his head slightly, waiting. Supreme Speaker. The Zdari are gone. Their fleets destroyed. Their worlds. She swallows. Everyone saw what happened to their homeworld. Supreme Speaker. Reduced to nothing. You have shown your strength, Warlord Karn. The question remains, what do you want? The room holds its breath. Karn lets out a slow, deliberate exhale. Iron Fang Karn. Peace. A ripple of confusion spreads through the room. Some look at one another, uncertain if they heard correctly. Senator Erlax. Why you call this peace? Karn leans forward, planting his elbows on the table. Iron Fang Karn. You had peace. And you mistook it for safety. He gestures vaguely toward the screen still flickering with the wreckage of a fallen empire. Iron Fang Karn. That mistake nearly cost you everything. He sits back, arms crossing over his chest. Iron Fang Karn. I don't want your planets. I don't want your wealth. I don't need your governments. His gaze sharpens. Iron Fang Karn. What I want is for you to remember what keeps peace. What maintains it. A pause. Iron Fang Karn. It isn't treaties. It isn't words on paper. He leans forward, voice low and dangerous. Iron Fang Karn. It's the fear of what happens when you break it. Silence grips the chamber. He lets that sink in before continuing. Iron Fang Karn. So here's the deal. His fingers drum once on the table. Iron Fang Karn. The Black Fleet remains. A murmur. Some leaders tense. Others look at him with something that almost resembles relief. Iron Fang Karn. We do not rule you. We do not interfere. We do not demand tribute. Another pause. Then, his voice hardens. Iron Fang Karn. But the moment another Zari rises, the moment another species believes they can challenge the peace, the moment someone gets too ambitious, his smirk returns. Iron Fang Karn. We remind them why war ended in the first place. The Supreme Speaker exhales, rubbing her temples. She has ruled for over a century. She has witnessed diplomacy in its highest form. She has never seen anything like this. Supreme Speaker. You are suggesting that humanity becomes the sword of the Concord. Karn tilts his head. Iron Fang Karn. Not suggesting. He leans back, arms draping over the chair. Iron Fang Karn. I'm telling you how this is going to work. The weight of the statement crushes the room. They are leaders of entire worlds. They are the architects of civilization. And none of them dare challenge him. Not because they don't want to. Because they can't. The Supreme Speaker looks at him long and hard. Finally, she nods. Supreme Speaker. Then it is done. The council members exhale in relief, their fates sealed. Karn stands, rolling his shoulders as he turns toward the exit. Senator Erlax. And what shall we call this new era? Karn stops. He looks back at them. Iron Fang Karn. You don't name peace. A beat. Then, a final, cold smile. Iron Fang Karn. You just pray it lasts. He walks away. And the galaxy bows. The bridge is quiet. The war is over. The Black Fleet drifts in high orbit, its weapons dormant, its mission complete. Below, the shattered remains of the starry homeworld smolder, a testament to the folly of challenging humanity. Adric, Iron Fang Karn stands at the center of it all, watching, waiting. His war is done, but there is always one last thing to settle. A chime echoes through the command deck. A priority transmission from the Galactic Concord. Karn taps the console, opening the secure channel. The Supreme Speaker appears in the holofeed, her face worn, her expression unreadable. She has seen what he has done. What humanity has proven. Supreme Speaker. It is done. The Concord has agreed. Karn nods, unsurprised. Iron Fang Karn. Good. She hesitates, studying him carefully, as if trying to understand the man who reshaped the galaxy in a matter of days. Supreme Speaker. You could have taken everything. Seized power. Crowned yourself emperor. Karn smirks. Iron Fang Karn. Not interested. Her brows knit together in confusion. Supreme Speaker. Then why? Why fight like this? Why burn entire civilizations, only to walk away? Karn leans forward, his eyes hard as steel. Iron Fang Karn. Because power rots in soft hands. I don't need a throne to remind the galaxy who we are. She exhales, shaking her head. Supreme Speaker. So this is it then? Peace under your watchful eye. Karn chuckles. Iron Fang Karn. Peace isn't a gift. It's a threat. Her breath catches, realization settling in. Supreme Speaker. You mean for this to last through fear? Karn tilts his head. Iron Fang Karn. Fear works. He lets that sink in before continuing. Iron Fang Karn. The moment another species decides they want to play warlord, the moment they think they can conquer and enslave, they'll remember what happened here. And they'll know, humanity is waiting. A long silence. She watches him, searching for something in his expression, some sign of weakness, of regret. She finds none. Supreme Speaker. Then I hope the galaxy never forgets. Karn's smirk sharpens. Iron Fang Karn. Oh, they won't. The transmission cuts. The bridge remains still, the weight of the moment pressing down on the crew. Commander Reyes steps forward, breaking the silence. Commander Reyes. Orders, sir? Karn turns to the vast expanse of stars, to the infinite darkness where countless empires rise and fall. Somewhere out there, another enemy is watching. Another war is waiting to begin. But not today. Iron Fang Karn. Stand down. A pause. Then, the confirmation. Commander Reyes. Yes, sir. The Black Fleet powers down. Weapons retract. Engines quiet. A message is sent, a simple transmission broadcast across the stars. The war is over. The fleet begins its slow retreat into deep space, slipping into the void, where it will wait. And somewhere, in the silence of the galaxy, a laugh echoes. Humanity does not rule. It simply waits. Because war is not over. War never ends. And when it returns, so will they.